Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzy Show. This is the Farzy Show, presented by MyBookie. Nice to have you along for the ride. We got playoff baseball tonight. In all honesty, this thought brought a smile to my face yesterday. I lit up like the night sky on the 4th of July. I'm sitting there. I'm going over the Nick Sirianni's press conference. I'm going over Jesus Luzardo's stats against the Phillies this year, right? I'm watching the extended highlights again of the Eagles game. I'm watching the extended highlights of the Chiefs game, the Jets, right? All that stuff. And I'm looking at the penalties and all that fun stuff, right? And I'm doing all that yesterday, right? Just to make myself abreast of everything, right? If that's even the right use for breast, I don't know. And I'm really excited, really happy, enjoying football. I'm enjoying thinking about baseball and all that stuff. And then I see that it's the Sixers media day. And I see, of course, that Daryl Morey is addressing the media. I see that Nick Nurse is addressing the media. I see that Joel Embiid is addressing the media. I see that the James Harden guy's not even there. And I don't care. I don't care. I literally smiled. I went, wow, if the Eagles sucked and the Phillies weren't in the postseason, I would rather talk to you about Taylor Swift than talk to you about James Harden right now. That is where I am at. Now, fortunately, I don't have to do either of those things because our baseball team is in the playoffs and our football team is undefeated. And it's the perfect kind of undefeated for somebody in this position. It's the perfect record, as I have said many times before. And for your people on the podcast listening pleasure, and the people watching here on the old YouTube, Hollis Thomas joins the show today, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you, Hollis Thomas talking about Sean Desai and Sean Desai versus Jonathan Gannon is what you need to start your day today. It's what you need. You need this to start your day. But of course, we're going to start things off today with the Philadelphia Phillies, who have a playoff game today against the Miami Marlins. That's where we're going to start. We're going to get to Hollis later. We'll get to our chat check per usual. We're going to have a lot of fun on today's program. And that I pretty much already talked about all that I'm going to talk about when it comes to the 76ers and James Harden. Oh, Daryl Morey said he's not a liar. So basically, here's how it's gone so far. Okay, ready? Here we go. I'll just sum it up for you yesterday for those that really do care. Here's how it went. Daryl Morey is a liar. James Harden. Okay, that cut to Daryl Morey. Nuh-uh. Okay, there you go. That's where we are. That's where we are right now. Okay. All right, now to baseball. Phillies start their wild card round series with the Miami Marlins tonight in South Philadelphia. Your pitching matchup is going to be Zach Wheeler against Jesus Luzardo. Before we go into the numbers there, before we dissect all that, I have seen repeatedly, and Rob Thompson was asked about it yesterday, and he said, we don't take anybody lightly. And I have seen that argument, we can't take the Marlins lightly. And I just want to, what the hell have people been watching for the last 5 years? Take the Marlins lightly? The phrase I use throughout the regular season is play down to their opponent, okay? They have been a better team than the Marlins really over the last 5 years. But over the last 5 years, the Phillies only have a winning record against the Marlins once. One time in the last 5 years, they have a winning record against the Marlins. That is horrendous. That's terrible. This year, 6-7. Last year, thanks to the Garrett Stubbs 3-run home run, I believe it was, that got the Marlins monkey off their back, and they actually had a 12-7 record against the Marlins last year. Then the year before that, 9-8. Year before that, 3-7, the COVID year, and then 9-8 before, or 9-10 before that. This is terrible. 6-7, 12-7, 9-10, 3-7, 9-10. I'm not taking the Marlins lightly when they have beaten the Phillies more times than not over the last 5 years. So this is not a take lightly situation. That's just I just want to get that out of the way before we even go any further when it comes to this series and the matchup that we're going to be seeing tonight. So I don't take this team lightly. I didn't want to face the Marlins. I wanted to face the Diamondbacks. I wanted to face the Cubs. I wanted to face somebody else. I didn't want to face the Marlins. Because here's the thing with the Marlins. Just like we do every single season when they have their games against the Marlins. Oh, they should beat the Marlins. Don't lose to the Marlins, right? Don't play down to your opponent. Don't lose to the Marlins. Now I got to say the same thing in the playoffs. A team that knows you better than any other team that you were going to be facing in the postseason? So let's get this straight. So most likely to try and at least make it back to the NLCS to defend your National League crown, the Phillies are going to have to go through 2 NL East opponents? Cool. At least your last series against the Braves, you won. Your last series against the Marlins, you lost. They dropped 2 of 3 in that series. And no, Luzardo did not pitch. Luzardo did not pitch, did not make the start in that pitch, in that series. The 26-year-old lefty did not make a start in that series, but the Phillies still lost 2 of 3. Zach Wheeler also did not start. That was, I believe it was the 8th, 9th, and 10th, or 7th, 8th, 9th. Was the last time of September that the Phillies faced the Marlins. And yeah, they certainly played down to their opponent there, unfortunately. As far as the pitching matchup goes today, Jesus Luzardo, 2-0 against the Phillies in 2 starts this year with a 3.65 ERA. That's what you got numbers-wise going into this one. 12 1/3 innings logged against the Phillies this year with 12 hits and 14 strikeouts. Last time he faced the Phillies was back in July. It was a 7-3 Marlins victory. He went 6 1/3, allowing 2 runs. Both of them earned 4 hits, 9 strikeouts. In that game, and this is what's a little off-putting, okay? Schwarber, Turner, Castellanos, and Bohm, 0 for 14 in that start. The previous, only other time Luzardo was facing the Phillies this year was back in April. So does that even count? I don't think it counts. Bryce Harper wasn't even in the lineup then. And the last time in that July game, this is telling you all you need to know as well, Derek Hall pinch hit in that game. So it's been a minute. It has been a minute since the Phillies have really seen Jesus Luzardo. Now, as far as Zach Wheeler goes in this start, he's made 3 starts against the Miami Marlins this year. Winless in those 3 starts, unfortunately. ERA straight up at 3, dead on at 3, even 3. And his last start came against them in August in that 9-8, 12-inning affair in Miami itself. Here's what I am expecting. Now, I did not want to face the Marlins. I would not be shocked if this goes the full 3 games, and I would really hate to see this go the full 3 games because I don't want to see the pitching. I don't want to see the starting rotation use up all their bullets, so to speak, right? And one of the last real bad start of Aaron Nola actually came in that 3-game series in September where he only went 4 1/3, allowing 4 runs. He had that blow-up 5th inning, I want to say it was. It was a bad start for Aaron Nola. And that was the last one. Since then, he's had the 3 straight starts of no more than 2 runs in each start. And he only went 4 2/3 in one of them. Everything else has been at least 6. But that's just something to be aware of going into this series. I am not taking this team lightly. I don't think anyone has the right to even say, oh, we can't take them lightly. Well, yeah, you'd think. But one of the common themes I have heard continuously from Rob Thompson and other people when they address the media from this clubhouse is that this team is built for the playoffs. I have trouble understanding what that means because I think the Braves are pretty well built for the playoffs. And as much as I'd love to call them the Dallas Cowboys of Major League Baseball, I just can't. I can't do it because they've actually won a championship recently. So I can't necessarily do that. But last year, yeah, nice regular season and then fizzled out of the playoffs against your Philadelphia Phillies. Teams like the Marlins, they do bother me because of that whole playing down to your opponent thing. But what I would really love to see, and quite frankly, what I'm expecting, because I do expect the Phillies to win this series. I don't think it's going to be the easiest thing in the world. And again, if I had to make a prediction on it, it's going to go 3 games. Just because that's the way they've played the Marlins over the last 5 years. Nothing has been easy against Miami for the Phillies. So my prediction is this ends up going 3 games. I think we have a reality check moment. I think we have a shake-up moment. I'm hoping that's not true, but that's what my gut is telling me going into this one because that's just what we can expect anytime the Phillies play the Marlins. You at least let one slip away that you should have won. But what I'm hoping for is that the push come to shove moment is here. Is that the losing record against the Marlins team like this, hosting them in South Philadelphia for the 3 games, all the BS goes out the window. You have Trey Turner, who has the last time the Phillies faced the Marlins in Miami, by the way, that was the last time Trey Turner really had his struggles. Because after that series in Miami, Trey Turner came back here to Philadelphia, and that's when he got the standing ovation. That's when he started to turn things around, and that's when he started looking like the Trey Turner that was worth $300 million. So that's a huge difference. Bryce Harper is obviously back into the swing of things here. You don't have Derek Hall in the lineup, just for example. This is a different Phillies team in the playoffs. At least that's what everyone's telling me. That's what this clubhouse is trying to preach right now. And I would love to see them go out there and prove it. There's too much of a track record here for me to say there's some proverbial playoff switch that's going to get flipped and the Phillies are just going to dominate this game. I would love to say it's going to be easy. I don't see it being easy. And that is a scary thing to me. You are going to have a little bit of bullpen help, by the way. One of the things I had been wishing for in the offseason, or excuse me, in the last week of the season there, when you saw Ryan Kerkering make his Major League debut, he made a couple of appearances there. Rob Thompson was addressing the media yesterday where he talked about Orion Kerkering actually being a man he could rely on coming out of the bullpen. So this is what we got. I had a couple of desires towards the end of the season. I wanted to see 90 wins. Got it. Wanted to see Alec Boehm hit 20 home runs. He hit 20 home runs, so that's good. And Orion Kerkering. As much Orion Kerkering as possible. And he apparently has made an impression on his skipper. Here's Rob Thompson on the young righty.
Find some pockets for him, but, he's a leverage guy. He's shown me enough stuff to be one of our top right-handers coming out of that bullpen. And he's another guy, just like talking about Ranger. He hasn't even quivered yet since he's been here. So, we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But I have complete faith in him.
He hasn't even quivered yet. He hasn't even quivered. There's been no quivering yet with Orion Kerkering. However you have it, whatever you want to call it, I'm all for it. I don't trust Sir Anthony Dominguez. Sir Anthony Dominguez, in their last series against the Marlins, gave up a big home run, got a couple of outs, got a big home run. Then Matt Strahm came in to finish it off, got the out in the inning. Then they unfortunately brought him off the bench again. I better brought off the bench. Had him do an up-down, went back into the game, and then unfortunately gave up a 2-run home run. So I don't trust, especially against this Marlins team, I don't trust anyone in the bullpen. You know who I do trust? Someone they haven't seen yet. Now think about that. I think that's a very valuable thing. When it comes to this Phillies squad and it comes to this matchup against the Marlins, I find it very valuable to have someone that they have not seen. I find it very valuable. And Orion Kerkering is one of those guys. They've seen Sir Anthony Dominguez. They've seen Jose Alvarado. They've seen these guys come out of it. They've certainly seen Craig Kimbrell, and we know about the struggles he's had towards the end of the season. So I love the idea that in this series where you have faced each other 13 times, you have a guy that you haven't seen yet. So I think that's a big advantage for the Phillies. If they need to go into the bullpen for Orion Kerkering, I ain't scared. I think there are some guys, and I was talking about this yesterday. Who was I on with? I was on with Bill Colarulo. He's got a new show, Legal Hands to the Face podcast, and the Philly Sports Power Hour on Jacob Media. Bill got into this. He asked me the question about Sidney Brown. And can Sidney Brown play the slot? Would you like Sidney Brown to play the slot? And I think Sidney Brown and Orion Kerkering have something very similar. And I think a bunch of athletes have this. Not every athlete has this, but I wish every athlete had this. And it's this type of mindset of like, yeah, whatever. Hey, Orion Kerkering, make your Major League debut. Yeah, whatever. Get a couple strikeouts. No problem. 6 strikeouts, I believe, is what he got up to. So yeah, 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. Not bad for the young man. Make your Major League debut. Yeah, okay, whatever. Put 2 runners on. Get 2 more strikeouts. Yeah, whatever. Put another couple runners on. 2 more strikeouts. Okay, yeah, whatever. Pitch in the playoffs. Yeah, whatever. That's the mindset. I mean, that's a guy that can't be rattled. That's a guy that's never too small for the moment. So I look forward to that being tested against the Marlins in the playoffs. Hopefully they won't even need him. Starting pitching just goes out there and absolutely dominates. I'm all for it. I know it's been a big question as to what the rotation is going to look like after this first-round series. And again, I do think the Phillies are going to make it out of this first-round series with the Marlins. I don't think this is going to be a crash and burn type of thing. But one of the things I'm looking forward to is what does come next. After Wheeler, after Nola, who goes? Who do you trust? I think your most consistent pitcher this entire season has been Christopher Sanchez. Ranger Suarez has leaked some gas, leaked some gasoline. I would be surprised, though, if Rob Thompson's out. What would I have? I'd have Sanchez go. What do what's my prediction? I think Suarez is going to end up going in that game most likely against the Braves. If this does only go 2 games and you go right to your next pitcher, Suarez will probably be the guy to go in there and make that start. Bottom line is, I'm just excited for it. I don't know if you guys saw the coverage of Center City yesterday during the Red October tour, but oh my goodness, people were ready for it, man. People were ready for it. I think it was T-Mac down there. It was Ben Davis. It was, I think Greg Murphy was down there, John Clark. They were all down there at the Comcast Center, and it looked like a sea of red. I've said many times already that there's nothing better than having this Phillies team be good, this Phillies team be in the playoffs and have the Eagles start out strong. There is no better time than that September and October in Philadelphia sports. There's no better time. And the fact that it's so damn good, I don't have to pay attention to, any drama that doesn't have to do with what's actually going on the court just yet or on the surface of play just yet. I'm pretty happy. Oh, and the Flyers won last night, 3-1. How about that? A little preseason hockey. There you go, orange and black. Way to be. Way to be, baby. Way to be. Before we get to our friend, Hollis Thomas, and talk all things Philadelphia Eagles and his amazing breakdown of Sean Desai versus Jonathan Gannon, before we get there, let me tell you about the amazing people at MyBookie. Check out MyBookie and all the great things they have going on. Like right now, if you use promo code Farzy, that's promo code Farzy, you get up to $200 cash bonus. NFL, college ball, brand new cash out system, giving you the options to win and win big all season long. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and place another bet, or let it ride for a chance at a bigger payday. Just join us at MyBookie for the entire season, filled with daily odds boosts, same game parlays, and huge prize pool contests. Right now, MyBookie, no strings attached, cash bonus. Pretty fantastic. Just use promo code Farzy. That's promo code Farzy, and you can get up to $200 cash deposit. How incredible is that? Just use promo code Farzy at mybookie.ag. You could bet on anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. Before we hit Hollis here real quick, I want to okay, so I mentioned I was watching the Nick Sirianni press conference yesterday. I just want to go over a couple of notes from it real quick, all right? He regrets nothing. So if you think there's something he regretted in that game, no, does not regret anything. Dallas Goedert, lack of production, small sample size according to Nick Sirianni. He has been a part of the game plan. He's been a huge part of the run game plan. He's had a huge impact on the game itself. He's just not getting all the catches that you thought he would get going into the season, but that's coming. It's a small sample size, okay? You don't need to get Dallas the ball in order to have the defense concerned about him. They're always concerned about him. All right, so that's fine. He's been a force in the run game. That's good. This was an interesting question. Tyler Steen, Cam Jurgens, Sua Opeta. Jurgens going to be out for a little bit here. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks, unfortunately. He was in the walking boot after the game, but they're optimistic they will get him back this season and in a somewhat timely manner. So the question yesterday was basically, hey, what are you going to do with Tyler Steen? Well, Lane Johnson apparently came off the field yesterday and told head coach Nick Sirianni that Sua Opeta was doing great. Like, they absolutely loved him. He had about 40 snaps in the game Sunday, and Lane Johnson was singing his praises. So that's one thing right there. Regrets nothing. I already told you that. Okay, here's interesting. Cooper Kupp could be coming back to face the Eagles this weekend. If that's the case, can we not have Sidney Brown or James Bradbury in the slot? Can we? I don't like it. I don't like it even a little bit. To me, I don't understand how the philosophy changes. Because all the time we talk about this all the time in the offensive line. If an offensive lineman goes down, then you don't want to move Jordan Mailata to right tackle, and then like last year have Andre Dillard go to left tackle because he's more comfortable in that spot. I don't like getting weaker at 2 different positions. So I understand that Avonte Maddox is done. I don't think that means that you have to affect 2 cornerback spots now. I don't think that means you have to move your outside corner to the inside. I'd much rather have a guy that doesn't have NFL experience and just throw him to the fire in the slot. I'd much rather do that and know that my outside corner positions are solidified and that the guy on the inside is going to have some help with linebackers, with traffic, with safety help over the top. I'd rather have that than anything else. I'd rather have somebody like Sidney Brown, who hopefully is healthy enough to play this weekend, with the whatever mentality and going out there and just playing his damn butt off. So Cooper Kupp could be coming back. Interesting. Nakua tearing it up. Both those receivers you got to worry about now. We'll see if Cooper Kupp actually does play this weekend. But obviously, Nick Sirianni was asked about it and said certainly somebody you always have to account for, as it is with Aaron Donald pursuing your quarterback as well. This was an interesting thing as well. I've heard the argument about Jalen Hurts just doesn't look the same as far as the athlete. There's a couple of scramble opportunities that he didn't take. He scrambled a number of times, but there was a couple that were right there for the taking and didn't take it. We talked about it in the Buccaneers game, about the scramble he had in the earlier goings of the game where he was running to his right and he slid well short of the first down. He had the first down. If he would have taken the angle to the outside, he had the first down. Instead, he slid well before instead of having maybe a 3rd and 1 at worst, as opposed to just getting a new set of downs, he settled for a 3rd and 5. It just didn't make any sense to me. So he has been noticeably cautious this year. For all the talk going into the season about how you got to protect Jalen Hurts, but you also have to embrace the uniqueness of his game. For all that talk, I'm not going to say timid, but it's close to it. He has not been breaking off the runs. He has not been scrambling like we have seen in years past. And I was never one to say, run less. I was never one to say that. It's just that when you run, do the thing that Jalen Hurts had been doing really for the first 2 years of his career, where it was getting out of bounds, throwing the ball away, hitting the slide, whatever it might be. But the slide was a little too cautious in that game against the Bucs. And then in this particular game, there was a few opportunities there to break one off, and he decided not to. Or he looks slower than he has in years past. I don't know if because the first instinct is to protect himself. I don't know. Now, this also goes both ways. Where he hasn't broken off a run, you could also go back to that Tampa Bay Buccaneers game where you saw him stand in the pocket like a statue for 2 different plays. One being the 6-second play where he was from snap to throw. He had the ball in his hands for 6 seconds before he hit Olamide Zaccheaus for the touchdown. That was incredible. We hadn't seen that from Jalen Hurts in years past. So Nick Sirianni's asked about it yesterday, and he said, well, Jalen's the first thing out of his mouth, towards the end of the press conference there when he was asked the question, the first thing out of his mouth when he was asked, what about Jalen Hurts? It looks like he is not really as athletic. I didn't say athletic. I forget the exact wording of it, but it was basically he's not running as much as we have seen before. He seems to be going to the slide with a little bit more regularity than we have seen before. And Nick Sirianni, the first words out of his mouth, Jalen's got to protect himself, and he knows that. Look, I'm glad it's a priority, obviously. I'm glad it's a priority. It just seems odd to me that is not embracing the uniqueness of his game. I'm all for being cautious. I was never one to sit back and say, run less. I was one to say, you know what, if the 1st and goal from the 1, maybe no brotherly shove in that instance. Maybe just give it to a running back once and have them try to score a touchdown. And then if they don't get it, you can get it on the next play. And that just saves me from putting Jalen Hurts' head across the line of scrimmage for someone to, unfortunately, yes, as Chris Sims put it, headhunt. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying it's something that people have to be aware of. The run against the Bucs where he went on the early slide, that was a little overly cautious. At least that's the way it looked to me, sitting on the sofa, not being in pursuit, not having a linebacker in pursuit of me. But we've seen Jalen Hurts certainly escape those from more than one occasion in his career. So I thought that was an interesting thing. He's got to protect himself. Well, I'm always glad that's a priority. Always glad it's a priority. All right, without further ado, let's get to our friend Hollis Thomas to break it all down for us as he joins us on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line. Let me just set the scene for people here. Okay. Hollis Thomas joins us, of course. All right. I send the invite. We text a little bit. We talk. We call. You call. We talk for a second. And then I send the invite. And immediately what's playing in the background is a sample of Express Yourself. And you're drinking out of a giant coffee mug that says Awesome Sauce. There it is right there. You're still drinking out of it. You got the black sunglasses on, of course. The beard Oh man. Oh, that beard. Not that my beard ever looked like a manly beard, but that, my friend, is a manly beard. Oh my goodness gracious.
I appreciate you. I've been grooming it and using different types of treatments. I went with the Viking treatments. They seem to be working quite well. With the Berserker edition.
Oiling and lotioning, and lotioning.
I learned what the Berserker was. The ones, that's what Go Berserk means. The Berserker Vikings, the most brutal known to man.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned a lot. I've been learning a lot lately.
I could be mistaken, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the Berserkers are the ones that would run naked in the battle. They were the ones that were like totally bat, you know what, crazy.
Yes.
I remember
they were like they looked like giant bears though, and that's why they were called Berserkers, because they would just go bar none, the most feared of any.
If you, I don't know if you remember this, but when before Jason Kelce was like Jason Kelce, the celebrity.
Yeah.
No,
it's Travis Kelce and the Taylor Swift. You know, he's gonna break up with her. It's gonna be a 2-disc album about him.
yeah, about some football player that she met once. It's very vague. Yeah, but I remember.
Hugged his mom.
Hung out with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and Hugh Jackman.
Wow.
And that Sophie Turner lady, the lady from the Game of the Thrones and stuff, that she was in the box apparently as well, fresh off her breakup with the Jonas guy.
Oh, wow, man, she's putting herself out there already, huh?
Wow, because of football, I know way too much about pop culture. This is horrible. This is horrible.
Hey, it'd be like that sometime.
Well, I was going to tell you that before Jason Kelce was Jason Kelce, he went through this big berserker stage. Him and I think it was the Owen Schmidt, the fullback of the Eagles. They were just like big berserker guys.
Yeah, the big berserker beards. I think it was just I think it was just not even a fad. It was just something that the big guys were doing. Because what's the goal? The center for the Jets, Mangold.
Nick Mangold, yeah.
Nick Mangold. He had a lot of the big guys. They were going through that long hair, big berserker beard type phase.
Yeah, right.
So it's like I forgot to turn my. That's my phone. It's like I'm
got Stewie chiming in.
Please do not speak unless you're spoken to.
Who is that? A ringtone for someone?
Yeah, it's a ringtone just in general when my cell phone rings, and it's real funny when you're in the elevator and it goes off. Everybody's like, "Who?" It's like it says, "Please do not speak unless you're spoken to."
Oh God, that's amazing. Okay,
shall we get down to business?
Focus. Yeah, right. Okay, focus. Breathe. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me just get out of the gate with this because I've been dying to ask you this one question because I'll never forget. You and I were doing a show when Bo Allen was drafted.
Bo Allen.
And you were all giddy. That's my warthog, man. That's my warthog. Yeah,
Fat Thor.
Fat Thor. Yeah, exactly. And that was his nickname at Wisconsin, Fat Thor. And I confirmed that. I actually asked him about it, and I said, "May I call you that?" He goes, "You can call me that." I'm like, "What? That's awesome." Anyway, so you were really excited about him,
right?
Where are you from draft day to right now, as far as what Jalen Carter brings to the table as one of your warthogs? What are you thinking of Jalen Carter?
Well, I got to go to Jordan Davis is more of my warthog.
Okay, Jordan Davis.
I love the fact that they brought the 1-2 punch because I think the coolest thing is they played together in college, so they could feed off each other and they could continue their dominance. When they got Jalen Carter, I was elated because I was actually in Kansas City at the time because I'd never been to the draft before because I was undrafted. So Philly Sports saw fit to take me to the draft, and I sat down there with the masses, and I had to rein back my terror for opposing teams fan because they were so nice. You know, it's like when somebody else comes up, a fan, especially a Cowboys fan. It was like when they was coming up to, I had to rein back the terror and be convivial about the situation because it wasn't a time of war. So I'm just saying.
You went in peacetime. In peacetime.
Yes, but it's like when you think about that. You think about that whole draft experience, and then at the end of the first round, we get Nolan Smith. Dude, talk about weapons out the wazoo. That's like, and it was like I was like, oh man. And I'm glad Jonathan Gannon is gone, so he doesn't mess this up. It's the one thing. I was elated when we got both of those guys, especially. It's like it's rare that you get drafted in the first round, but to have your defensive line mate come with you, and you guys wreaked havoc in college, and now you get to wreak havoc in the NFL. And it looked like they never missed a beat. It's like man, he's a terror, and he's everything. He's everything that we thought he was going to be. So far, so it's like, and I'm enjoying it. I did like the fact. If you want to talk about this past week's game, I felt like we kind of took a step backwards, but it's one of those things where you remember that last year we played this game, and they physically the Commanders came out and physically whooped our ass. The score was not indicative of the ass kicking that we took up front, and I felt like the guys this time they took it personal. It wasn't an ass whooping. It wasn't. It's like it was a war tooth and nail, and our guys we came out on top at the end. I was like it was a couple of times that and I told you we was going to get into the officiating, because even last night's game was horrific. It was like 3 calls that they made. And it's like something my brother said personally. He said it was for the Chiefs, because when the Chiefs did it, they didn't call it, but when it happened to the Chiefs, they called it. So, and I guess they were trying to appease Taylor Swift because they kept panning up there to her. But when you look at our squad, they're on the rise, and it's like, and especially defense, they started to become a full team, not just one-sided. And it's like we had the personnel last year defensively to put people on notice, to shut them down, to knock the crap out of them. But we didn't have the architect to put everybody in place. And now this year, I think we just they have to get on the same page with Desai, especially with the matchup zones. A lot of people think that when you're in zone, it's as bad. It's like, no, if you talk, it's like in, out. I saw no pointing or anything. I'm hoping that they get on that page to where when they run a zone, they're pointing and stuff, and the guys aren't running scot-free. And I think the young guys, they're going to come to grips with that, especially. You saw the I don't know if you paid attention to this past game. It was one sail route that kept being open on the defensive left. It was a bit of a sail route, and it was a combination route. What they were doing, they was running somebody shallow, so the corner would have to come up, because the shallow route wasn't as shallow, but it was far enough back to where he could get some yards. And so somebody behind the corner was supposed to be like out, because it was somebody going behind you. So you're supposed to sink a little bit to deter the throw and to make it be a harder throw. We didn't do that. The guy was just wide open. And I hopefully they get on the same page with that. I think that was the only. I think that was, as a fan, if you looked at the game, that was pretty much the only gripe. And then the Brian Williams doing the little bird thing. I'm glad they lost too. Yeah, I hate when cats do that, and then you lose.
Well, hey, if it adds a little extra motivation to the rest of the game, bring it on. Yeah. When it comes to Sean Desai, then, all right, yeah. What are you liking about Sean Desai? Because he was a bit of a mystery coming in here. Right. 1 year as a defensive coordinator, everyone knows his history by now. Mm-hmm. What have you made of Sean Desai? Because what I'm seeing is a guy that is not afraid to dial up those blitzes. What are you seeing?
I'm saying that same thing, but I'm seeing a guy that's not afraid to dial up the blitzes, and he's getting some timely blitzes, and he's kind of like. It's like he's getting familiar with the team that he has, because I think they have to know, and him and the team, this is their first year together, so there's going to be some hiccups here and there, but their hiccups are hopefully keep them far and few like they have been. And when he dials up the blitz, they look like they've actually been practicing the blitz. It doesn't look like. Did you see the one blitz that came? It was a delayed blitz with Morrow. Yeah. It's like, that's what I love seeing. Because that would have been called a Mac out delay in Jim Johnson's system. Because what Trout would do, he would do like this, and then he would come. And I don't know what this was for, because he to fake like he was dropping in the pass. But you don't have to do like that, and it delayed it, and it normally worked. And then I like the stunts he's been doing up front, and just hitting people in the mouth when need be. I like the fact that occasionally the five-man rush. That's it. That's what. If we'd had just a little bit of that in the Super Bowl, we didn't deter from, and we give them different looks, and that's what I like. We're giving people different looks, so they don't always know where we're going to be at. Mm-hmm. And then the guys up front, they are as billed. So that's why I was doing a show, and they was asking me what was I expecting from this game. I was expecting a little bit of revenge from our offense, which they got a little bit. But I was expecting us to be a hard fought game. We play these people twice a year. Ron Rivera was here. He's played against the Eagles a bunch of times, and he knows the team. And he's got the same Jack Del Rio, who I think is a jerk, but that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. But it's like they know this team and they're familiar with the team. And the fact that we were able to offensively last year, they came and whooped us. And they kept getting us off the field 3 and out. But then offensively, they just beat us up. It was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And if you're willing to do that and to keep our offense on the sideline, then that was the formula to beat us last year. And nobody paid attention because our defense was bend but don't break. Do you realize last year we gave up a 13-play drive to them, a 10-play drive, an 8-play drive, and the epitome of a 17-play drive? And we still we lost by 3. And it was 3 or 10 because they got a fumble in the end. But when you look at it, they had the formula last year, and that's what people used to do: keep the defense on the field because they're bend but don't break, and then keep the defense out there, keep the offense on the side, and just keep them out of the game like that. So I felt like it was a good revenge game.
Okay,
to me, because they stopped us from being undefeated last year.
I got to tell you this. I think of you a lot when I listen to Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is a very similar mindset. I think you two have a very similar mindset in that, like, in terms of being satisfied, like you guys, like everyone talks about the moral, like there's no moral victories, but it seems like with you and Jalen Hurts, there could be moral losses. And if you don't play to the standard, it's a moral loss. That's the way I like to put it. And you would shoot just real talk with me constantly when it came to the Eagles and their level of play that they should be getting to, their potential. Jalen Hurts is not satisfied, never satisfied, all that stuff.
Right.
They're 4-0 right now, Hollis Thomas.
Yep.
They're 4-0 right now.
Yes.
If you're in that locker room, how are you feeling about the 4-0 record? How are you feeling about the perfect record?
Well, the way I would be feeling is like all the W's are the victories are not going to be pretty, but the W's are sexy. So I know that I have to do more. I have to do more. And in saying that, you have to maximize your sexy on a daily basis is what I do. I go out, I eat to work out, and I work out to eat. So it's like you have to it's like your body. You have to constantly work on it, or if you let it go, if you rest on your morals, you be that fat ass dude standing by the pool thinking that you're cute, all oiled up, looking like a Christmas ham, instead of a delicious, tasty, well-cut turkey.
Now that you put it that way, it makes total sense. But
it's like if we were just winning perfectly all the time, everybody would be blowing smoke up their ass and stuff, and the coaches wouldn't be able to correct them on small things. But we're winning, and we're winning in a gritty way. And there's like, not to mention gritty from the Flyers.
I got you. Yes, I got you.
But it's like the victories, they're not gonna be pretty. But the W in the win column is sexy as a muff. You know the rest.
I'm gonna be stuck. Yeah, I'm gonna be stuck with that glazed ham for a while. But yeah,
but it's like when you think about the way the guys come out there and not being satisfied. You can be satisfied if you blow somebody out. I don't have anything to work on. Yes, the hell you do. The next team is not gonna be that easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk. So it's like I like the fact that the guys are realizing it's the NFL stands for not for long. If you rest on what you did last week, this is a what have you done for me lately league, man. And everybody's like, oh, you're always clichéing. You can cliche me to death. But the ones that I'm saying are the truth. If you don't produce, put it this way: if we got to go get our ass kicked next week, it's like, oh, what's wrong with the Birds? Oh God. That's why you kind of keep on blinders when you're playing. And you know the goal, and you know that you have to continually work. It's a work in progress, because as a young team, you can get complacent and think that you are the sugar honey iced tea. And once you do that, there'll be that one guy, and that everybody says sucks ass, and he'll come and pull a Fitz Magic or a Kirk Cousins sucks move on you. And that's why I had to tell somebody they was talking about we're going to kill them. I was like, don't be so sure. The sun shines on the dog's ass every once in a while. It's like you You have to. That's why you have to be on point. That's why I like the way that we're getting the victories, but it still puts us on notice that we can't rest on what we did in the past.
I want to ask you 2 questions about the Commanders game. One has to do with the touchdown late in the game that Jalen Hurts threw to A.J. Brown. By the book, it's you bleed the clock. That's that. What was your stance on that? And then also Ron Rivera not going for 2 at the end of regulation. What was your stance on those 2 plays?
The first one, score when you can. Don't think that you just got the end-all, be-all. Just if you have the ability to score when you can. That's what they pay the defense for. We're supposed to stop them. Now, the other part, too, is my man, A.J. Brown. I love A.J. They have been bickering back and forth all game. Him and the young corner out of Mississippi State. I wanted him so bad. That's a ball. Number 13 for the Commanders. It's a ball hawk, dude. Six pick sixes in college alone. That's why when he was doing that, no, and everybody was like, no, don't play with him. He's that type of guy. He's got that speed. But in any event, you've been bickering back and forth all along. The officials have been, trying to warn you, and then you lay the ball at his feet, and then it's taunting. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. You have to respect it. But in that same light, I don't think he's going to make that same mistake again. But as a defense, you have a job to do. Go out there and stop them. And now we tried our damnedest to stop them. We botched it. We dropped the ball a little bit, and I just think it's just one of those things. If going for 2 at the end, you don't go for 2 at the end because that means you don't trust your team to close it out. It's not like it was. It's not like we were just dragging the Commanders. They still had something left in the tank, and you go for 2 at the end. It was like you don't trust your quarterback like that yet.
Okay, that's
Sam Howell. You don't. It's like to go for 2 at the end would have been cool, but you didn't really. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It wasn't like he was like. It was like every other. Now look at what happened. Almost every other play, we were sacking his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And he caught the touchdown. He caught the touchdown. What do you think was going to happen on that 2-point play? A sack.
Could have been.
Yeah, and so you playing to win. It's like and you give your team. I feel like in that moment right there, Ron Rivera let his team know that he believed in them. He believed in that they would have the opportunity to win. Going for 2 means that I don't think if we go another quarter, we can't hang. We can't hang.
Okay.
It's like, no, you fought all the way back, dude. You go, and then you got the ball. You was primed to set. So it was just like, but that's what I think about those 2 calls. I think that both of them made the right call because it's like sometimes it's like when I used to play against my little brother. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll let you win in a video game. Yeah, I'll let you win. Hell no, I ain't let you win. You won fair and square. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't beat you no more.
I used to let him, like if my little cousin's playing, I used to let him get to within a point. Ooh. And then I'd stomp on their hopes and dreams because I want them to have some hope to play me again, for when I'm bored.
Not me. I'm going to stomp your heart out. Make sure it's like you often see the little guys be walking up talking about, let's do the Oklahoma drill. Only if you sign a waiver. Because I am going to massacre you to let you know that you shouldn't be running up to me talking about let's Oklahoma. No.
Fair enough. Yes. I did. By the way, I did sign that waiver that time. Don't. I walk weird now, but whatever. So, first off, I know you keep in great contact with the audience. You guys do such an amazing job. Philly Sports Trips does an incredible job. You were just down in Tampa. You're still working with Irvin Fryer?
Yes, we do Vetted on. It comes on. We're on A2D Radio. Agree to disagree. We're on each and every Thursday at 5 to 6, unless there's some scheduling conflicts. Because when you're kicking ass in the NFL, you don't know when you're going to play. You get all the primetime games and stuff. So, and then Irvin's birthday was last week, and he went to Nebraska. I don't know what for. They got their ass handed to them on homecoming.
Oh yeah.
Well, they brought like one of their championship teams back, and that he was on. And he had some appearances, so we ended up doing the show on Friday. But other than that, we are on Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Myself, and we have Dog Talk every other week. We got Dog Talk coming up. Brian Dawkins comes on, and he talks about whatever. I normally bait him into talking about football because he was like, man, I don't watch the game like I used to. I was like, don't worry. I could bait you into talking about certain stuff, and I think it's got him into watching a little bit more because he's on one of those journeys from God. So
Understood.
Yes,
Understood.
and that's all. But between that and Philly Sports Strip, yeah, I mean, doing what I can for the strippers, single mom.
Hey, we need nurses. Medical school ain't going to pay for itself. You know what I'm saying?
I did, but just out having a good time and having a good time with the folks. I like to thank everybody who comes out to the Philly Sports Strip to experience. We go to Kansas City. I'm going to the World War I Museum. Because I didn't even know there was a World War I museum. As a kid, a lot of us that around our age, they used to teach us about the Civil War, the War of Independence, and World War II. They skipped right over World War I.
Yeah, I learned about the Chicago Black Sox before I learned about World War I. No,
exactly, we did because it's like that was the team that cheated, or that tried to cheat anyway. The one guy paid the team to throw the World Series.
Look at us knowing stuff.
But that was around the Gas House gang time too. It was the Gas House gang.
Oh yeah. Sure.
The Cardinals, same. The Gas House gang. They throw fast. The Deans and stuff. Dizzy Dean and all them. You learned that. Have you ever been to St. Louis around Busch Stadium?
I have not been to St. Louis, unfortunately.
Our esteemed colleague is there now.
Oh yeah, of course, Josh.
Yeah, he's on a station that used to pump rock radio when I was in high school, KC 95. I was like, he's right where he's supposed to be.
That's great.
Yeah, it was funny because he was. I don't think he had been to Busch. I think he had been there, but I don't think he had been to they have a whole thing that they built up around Busch Stadium.
The new Busch, the most recent Busch.
The most recent Busch. But it's like I hadn't been there, and I saw it was like all the history of the team and stuff. And when you go around there, it's pretty enlightening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's great. No, I wanted to go when I was traveling a lot with Sunday Night Football, and St. Louis, the Rams moved back to LA. I was so disappointed because I wanted to at least cross St. Louis off my list. I'd been to Kansas City a number of times, but I'd never been to St. Louis. Plus, I had heard that the Dome, they just let it go. They just let that go to hell in St. Louis. God.
That's why Reggie Bush ended up suing them because
that's right. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Because he messed up his knee on the turn, and they pulled it back, and it was just like concrete. I was like, "Okay, Caesar's ghost." But they just had a football classic there or something.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know why, but
I got a couple.
Go ahead. It's two college teams. Go ahead.
Okay, I got a couple more for you, real quick. Tush push, brotherly shove.
Right.
As a guy that would be lining up against that, trying to stop it, can you stop it? Should it be illegal? What is your take on the tush push, now known as the brotherly shove?
It's a way to stop it. You have to get underneath. You have to get underneath the guys that are pushing. Get underneath the guy. Get underneath the center of the watch collar. A lot of guys when you watch it, you notice the guys are from across are not in their goal line stance. My hands like this. My head is down like this, and I'm launching. As soon as that ball snaps, I'm launching underneath the center and the guard. And as you launch underneath, you're supposed to grab for the ankles of the quarterback. Mm-hmm. That's a Jim Johnson technique. That's how you stop the quarterback sneak. Because if I have his legs and I'm lunging this way, no way he can go the other way, and then you just push it back. You don't Chris Sims it up and go head hunting. He's a bum.
I'm gonna, real quick, just I'm gonna take on that, and you can tell me whatever it is. But I thought that he made a good point. I thought he illustrated it terribly, though.
Yeah, he didn't really make a good point.
Okay.
Not because that's why he plays off. That's why he tried to play offense. see, in order to stop that tush push, you have to get underneath the center and the guards and stuff. And once you cut them down and they're not pushing anymore, and then you have the guys, the D tackles, grabbing at the legs of the quarterback so he can no longer push. When you go head hunting, all you're doing is you're about to grab a face mask.
Okay.
And what's the face mask? 15 yards.
All right.
So where you think the tush push may not have worked, it did. All right. So you don't go in head hunting in that situation. That's why he played offense or tried to play. I don't even know why he has a platform. His dad is paid for that. His name is Chris Sims, not Phil Sims.
Fair enough. All right. Last thing for you when it comes to this team, as we mentioned, they're 4-0, Hollis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know honestly, how good should we feel about this team? How good are the Philadelphia Eagles? Are they better than the Cowboys? Are they better than the San Francisco 49ers? How good are the Eagles at 4-0 with, as I mentioned earlier, the imperfect perfect record?
Let's see. We are the hunted, right?
We are the
NFC. We are the reigning NFC champions, are we not?
Oh, that is correct, sir.
Yes, and we are the team to beat. So all those other people, oh yes, they do things. Do you know that some Cowgirls fan ran up to me talking about how many they've been averaging 30 points? I was like, and it's got them absolutely where? At home every year. I was like, so until somebody unseats us, we are the team to beat. We are winning still. Despite the what people may call shortcomings, despite people thinking that things are shaky, we are still kicking ass and taking names. And until you unseat us totally, you have absolutely nothing to say. They are the team to beat. It's kind of like when they was ranking the players and somebody put Justin Jefferson in front of Jalen Hurts instead of it should have been Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and then the rest of the field. Because everybody, are they talking about what was the best team? The best two teams. The best two teams were the ones who played the Super Bowl last year. Did I miss something? Did they not tell the teams that were in the playoffs that they were in the playoffs to go to the Super Bowl? And then, am I missing something? Did you watch our playoff run? Did we kick ass and take names?
A lot of names, a lot of asses. Yes.
Yeah. Did our team not? Did our offense not put up a performance that at any other time on earth would have garnered a victory, except for where you have the architect of your defense named Jonathan Gannon thinking about his time when going to the Arizona Cardinals? Did our quarterback not go tooth and nail with one of the baddest QBs in the land?
Tooth and nail.
Yeah. So when they talk about Justin, Justin, get the hell out of here. Yeah. We're talking about it's a reality check. Reality check. Oh, he's better than you. No. Where was he at on Super Bowl Sunday? He was cooking queso.
Hollis, when is Kansas City your next Philly sports trip?
The next Philly sports trip is L.A. We're going to L.A. We're playing the Rams. Remember we playing the Rams?
Oh, Sunday. Wait, yeah. Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday coming up. I leave on Thursday morning. Oh yes, and I'll be down there soaking up some of the sun. Listen, actually, I'm going to stay away from the Hollywood people. I may catch up with Snoop Dogg and
oh yeah, sure.
Reminisce about times past.
tell him I said hello. Tell him I said no.
No. Yeah. The next Philly sports trips is actually there, but we actually have our Phillies are currently in the playoffs, so we have a tailgate coming up on Wednesday. It's going to be at Live Casino right there in the parking lot. We'll be right there at valet, get going hard in the paint until it's time to play. So fantastic. we got two. I'm going to both of the playoff games Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be in the Diamond Club. Just look for me there.
You're not easy to miss. We know where you are. We can hear you. We can wherever we are. Mr. Hollis Thomas, always great catching up with you. Make sure you guys check him out on A2D Radio. Make sure you check him out with Irvin Fryer, Brian Dawkins, obviously Philly Sports Trips. Follow all his social media accounts as well. Hollis, always great catching up, brother. Thanks so much.
I appreciate you for having me all the time. Sorry I couldn't get you earlier. I think it was earlier in the week or last week. I was all over the place, man.
Yeah, literally. Tampa, Philly, all over.
Yes.
Hollis, thanks, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
The great Hollis Thomas joining us here on the Ruffman Orthopedics guest line. How do you not love that man? How do you not love that man? Hollis Thomas. Honey glazed ham? I'm still on that. No, I haven't. Since we talked last night, I'm still not off of that one. That's still in the brain. Still dead center in the brain. My thanks to Hollis Thomas for joining the show and breaking it down like no other. The tush push brotherly shove stopping technique that he talked about from Jim Johnson. Grab the quarterback's ankles. Hey, why are people grabbing Jalen Hurts' ankles? Why aren't people grabbing Jalen? Because they can't get to his ankles. That's why. But yes, my thanks to Hollis. And make sure you guys follow him on all social media platforms as well, because he's amazing. Let's jump right into the chat check today, ladies and gentlemen. See how you guys are doing. I'm going to start it over on the Farzy Show page. Sean Kilrain, what's going on? Sean Gillespie, low. Sean Kilrain, the Marlins are a streaky team. Take care of Arise, Burgers, Solaire, Oh gosh, yeah. Chisholm, I hate that guy. I don't like him. I don't like him almost as much as I don't like Randolfo Castro. Kidding, reverse it. I don't like it, whatever. Is it possible for Nola to get a standing ovation, Farzy? Why not? Why not? Although he's already had 3 really good. No, I shouldn't say really good. Because although he didn't allow more than 2 runs 3 starts ago, he only went 4 and 2/3. But still, 3 straight starts. Well, at least 2 consecutive starts, at least 6 innings, no more than 2 runs. So I'll focus on that. Fuji, what's up, Fuji? Red October, damn right. April, nice to see you. Sean Kilroy, Devin Witherspoon was all over the field from the quarterback position and finished with 7 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception, returned 97-yard touchdown. That was insane. I did see that. I saw Brian Dable break his tablet as well. I think I talked about this yesterday, but Brian Dable went for it against the Titans last year in the first game of the season, and that sent a message to his team the rest of the way. And, of course, Giants made the playoffs where the Giants lost to the Eagles. Brian Dable got coach of the year. It is what it is. But he was pretty pissed off last night, and rightfully so. The Giants took a huge L at home against the Seahawks last night. Huge L against the Seahawks last night. Mike Fuji, hello again. Jason A, what's up? Good morning. Sean Kilrain is going to be a hell of a slot corner in the league for sure. He's going to be a hell of a slot. Oh, Weatherspoon, yeah. Sean Gillespie, morning. My heart can't take the brotherly shove. Please use the running backs for more of it. I agree, Sean Gillespie. I wouldn't mind seeing it even a little bit. Wouldn't mind seeing it even a little bit. When it comes to the running backs in those short situations, look, 4th and 1, you push that ass, okay? 4th and 1, you push that ass. 1st and goal from the 1, 2nd and goal from the 1, handle running back. 3rd down, tush push. 4th down, brotherly shove. As long as you push that ass across the goal line, we good. Mia Sanchez, happy Phillies playoff game, everybody. Same to you. Maxie the sexy? What? T-Bro, what's up, T-Bro? Tank looking like he's working out. I don't know if he said it during the interview or if he said it during our little pre-interview conversation, but one of the things Tank was talking about was working out to eat and eat to working out. Eat to work out. I just eat to eat, unfortunately. But, yeah, man, the man keeps it swole, friends. The man keeps it swole. Let's hop over to the Jacob Sports chat and see what you guys got going on. DK, new season starts tonight. You're damn right, DK. JP, hi, guys. Hope you both are good. Loving the show today. And I'm tuned in from the UK. The show is exactly the tonic that I've needed today. Love the analysis of Sports Homer. You're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you, JP. I'll bet that no one speaks in the lift when my man's phone goes off, friggin' ringtone. Love it. How do you not love it? How do you not love it? In the lift. Now, JP, if you're over in the UK, where are you in the UK? And are you from? You called it a lift. So either you're born and bred in the UK or you're from here and have lived over there a long time. You didn't call it the elevator. You called it the lift. By the way, I was last in the UK a little over a year and a half ago. Cousin's wedding, English countryside, played golf. It was amazing. Place called The Grove. And just love it, man. It's such a different vibe. It is such a different vibe over there. Literally throughout Europe. But UK, Italy, obviously, where I spent most of my international time. But man, good times. But where are you at, JP? And thanks for catching the show. Appreciate you. Did it surprise you guys how hard we found it against the Washington Commanders, or is it expected from Washington's divisional game? I thought it was going to be a blowout. Like, my gut was like, shut up, brain. It's not going to be a blowout. It's a divisional game. But I was like, no, this is going to be it. My head was literally like, this is it. Usually it's the other way around. It's my gut saying blowout and my brain being like, not so fast. But divisional opponent, I'm never shocked when it's a game. Never shocked. Niners all damn day. What do you have to say? Farzetta, I got the Fish winning tonight. Fish are 4-0 against the Phillies in Luzardo, or Braxton Garrett starts this year. Cool. I don't break it down like that. I break it down case by case, individual basis. He hasn't faced this Phillies team since July. As I said before, Derek Hall was a pinch hitter in that game. It's been a minute since he's faced the Phillies. So I'm going to throw all that out the window. No playoff experience for the young man. I'm going to say this is a totally different ball game. Look what the Phillies did to Spencer Strider last year. No playoff experience. That's all I got to say. That and the Niners suck, by the way. All right, anyway. JP, brotherly shove is a clean play, and it needs to be executed perfectly to work. Just look at the Giants. The Giants screwed it up. Oh, who was it? The Chargers? I think the Chargers screwed it up. Bunch of teams screwed it up, bottom line. Patriots tried it in week 3. It actually worked. JP 4-0 and rubbing salt in the wound by not even playing 100%. Look at that. Hollis, you the man. Damn right. Brian, what's up, Brian? Morning. Hi, born and bred here. Born in Manchester, but raised in New Forest on the South Coast. How about that? Hope you had a great time in Europe, and you're welcome back anytime. Oh, thank you, JP. Thank you. Oh, Europe ain't getting rid of me, man. I love it over there. I love it. I still want to fulfill my lifelong dream of moving to Italy and buying a pizza shop and having the locals run it. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'll just have them run it. I'll just be the nice guy outside. Like, hey, ciao, whatever. It's American selling pizza? All right, whatever. But thank you for joining the chat. I appreciate it. Let's get into the Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Let's break it down as far as this matchup goes tonight with the Phillies and the Marlins. I mentioned to you earlier the numbers that comes down to our man Zach Wheeler getting the start tonight. 3 starts, straight up 3 ERA in those 3 starts, but no wins in those 3 starts. He's logged 18 innings. He got close to a win, I believe it was, in the 9-8 game that went into 12 innings. But here's what you're looking for against this Marlins team. If you're looking for some boppers, Brandon Marsh has played very well. Alec Bohm has played very well. Nick Castellanos very well against the Miami Marlins this year. Marsh, 343 batting average. Bohm, 321 batting average. Castellanos, 313 batting average this year against the Fish. Trey Turner's got 3 home runs, as does Kyle Schwarber in the this matchup. Brandon Marsh and JT Realmuto, the former Fish himself, have 2 home runs in the 13 games played against the Marlins this year. Schwarber, though, 184 batting average. We really wouldn't expect anything else. So that is what it is right there, unfortunately. But those are the big boppers that we're expecting to be bopping tonight, hopefully. 8:08 start time in South Philadelphia. Red October officially begins with the first pitch by Zach Wheeler at 8:08 tonight. I can't wait for it. I'm stoked for it. I'm excited for it. And I'll be with you guys tonight, right here on the Jacob Media channel, the Jacob Media Sports channel here on the old YouTube, to break it all down after the game. So I look forward to doing that. It's been an absolute blast being with you guys after every Phillies game this season. So I look forward to continuing it deep into October. Red October, that is. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you guys. Jim Hyde, produced program, did a wonderful job. Back with you guys tonight. Fighting's post game, hopefully after a Game 1 win over the Marlins. See you guys then. Bye.